This is the second half. Ball kicked off from Cooper over to Tyler, and Tyler launches it over the far left-hand side. White is able to recover. Ball tackled away by Ryder. Ryder plays it in the center over to Juan. Juan cuts back over to the left-hand side, slots it over to the left, but not on the same page. It was intended for Tyler. White is able to recover the top right corner of their box, and White plays it on the far right-hand side off of the back of the player. It'll be blue throw-in. Ball thrown in over to Ryder. Ryder cuts back, starts moving up into the attacking third, plays it over to the left-hand side. Henry plays the ball over to Parker. Parker well into the attacking side. Parker outside the box, lays it off on the right-hand side, trying to get over to Juan. It'll be cleared out of bounds, and the call is a throw-in, I believe. So it'll be Parker throwing the ball in just a few yards out from the corner flag. He completes the pass over to Juan. Juan back over to Parker. Parker left-footed, crossing the ball over, brought down by White. Cooper gets the ball in the box, shoots, blocked, and then ball is released. Tyler with the tackle gets the ball over to Jose. Jose plays it over the left-hand side, over to Henry. Henry beats a tackle, cuts back into the center, shoots with his right foot, and is brought down by the left post of the pole for Bingham. Bingham, right-footed drop kick, landing right on the right-hand side by midfield, and it is Raff who lets the ball roll out of bounds. Raff throws the ball into Tate. Tate challenged. His pass intended for Brock was a bit soft. Ball up. Swing and a miss there, and a shot by Bingham, and ball thrown out by Bryson. Bryson over to Juan. Juan in midfield, slots it up in the middle over to Ryder. Ryder's able to, White gets there first as Ryder chose to go for the angle. Brock kicks that out of bounds. It'll be White throwing at the top of their middle third. White throws it over the head of Juan, looking to turn the corner. Ryder sliding tackle, ball dislodged, and Bryson going in for the sliding save. Rolls it out over to the left-hand side over to Raff, I believe that is. Raff, right-footed on the ground. His pass intended for Cooper. Dislodged, and White recovers the ball. Brock with a sliding tackle, no foul called there. It's Raff, plays the ball over the right-hand side over to Juan. Juan cuts back into the center, looking for options, gives it to Ryder. Ryder plays it over to the right. It's going to be too heavy, and it will be picked up by Bingham's keeper, who quickly drop kicks the ball to the left-hand side past midfield. It is 3v3 and a sliding tackle by Brock. Brock is able to keep that ball in bounds. He gives it up over to Parker. Parker pass over to the right-hand side, back in the center over to Parker. Parker in the middle, and no foul call there, dispossessed. White picks it up by the top right corner of their box. White now with the ball at the right-hand side. They play it on the far right against the line and crossed into the center, kicked out, and it will be Tyler who gets it to Raff. Raff up in the middle to Cooper. Cooper to Raff. Raff to Henry. Henry cuts back into the center, crossing midfield. Again in the center, challenge, gives it to Tyler. Tyler plays on the right-hand side over to Juan. Juan back over to Tyler. Tyler at the top of the box, moving over to the left-hand side, looking to shoot, left foot. It deflected and picked up by the Bingham keeper, and Tyler is gingerly walking to the far right-hand side of the box. That ball is headed down by Raff. Brock trying to get a toe on it. White is going to emerge with the ball. White plays the ball into the center. And Parker is able to get that ball over to Juan. Juan up the side, headed away by White. White will get there first. Juan challenging for a body. Sandwiched. Ryder emerges with the ball. Ryder gives it to Cooper. Cooper over to Juan. Juan in the attacking third, approaching the 18-yard line, shimmying over to the left and right, cuts back to his left, plays it over to Cooper, one-on-one, and he kicks it right into the gut of the Bingham keeper. And he's called offsides. Bingham plays it on the left. Ryder challenged. Tate is able to get a toe on it, but White emerges with the ball. They kick it to the far left-hand side. They have a runner, and Parker is able to clear that ball out, brought down by Juan against the right-hand side line. Juan moving into the center, streaking over to the right-hand side, cuts back, still with the ball, able to beat his man. Juan looking to cross the ball over to Cooper, and it's just behind him. White is able to recover. Ball kicked over to the left-hand side, intercepted by Parker. White will be able to bring the ball down. And that ball is picked up by Raff over to Jose. Jose feigns another pass, kicks it back to Bryson. Bryson to Brock. Brock is at the 18-yard line. Bingham giving him space. Brock up over to Ryder. Ryder back over in the center. Ryder trying to get to Tyler. Tyler is able to get there. Tyler now approaching the attacking third. Bodied. Gets the ball over to Juan. Juan, scissor move. Juan plays it in the center to Ryder. Ryder chips it up on the right-hand side, headed away by White. Ryder recovers, dislodged. Tate with the dispossession. White now on the counterattack on the right-hand side, right in midfield. Brock going in for the challenge. Ball over to the far right-hand side. And White chipping the ball up. And Jose, I believe that is able to get that ball. He gives it to Raff. Miscommunication. White is able to emerge with the ball. They put it in the center. Kicked up by Brock. Brought down by Ryder. And Ryder clears it out with his left foot over to midfield, trying to get it over to Cooper. Cooper, using his body, somehow gets it. Gives it over to Henry. Henry on the left-hand side, moving into the center. Plays it over to Tate. Tate in midfield. Plays it up over to the right-hand side. Completes the pass over to Juan. Juan now approaching the attacking third. Juan, scissor moves again. Shaking to the left and right. Moves to the right. Right, inside the box. Looking to cross it. Bodied out. And it will be goal kick for Bingham. Coach Greg giving some more instructions to his midfield, and Bingham taking a moment to make some changes. And it will be played onto the left-hand side for Bingham. Ryder on defense, putting pressure. Ball will be recovered by Henry. Henry plays it over to Tyler. Tyler takes a moment to regain possession, gives it up in the middle over to Ryder. Ryder cuts back, plays it back to the left-hand side over to Tate. Tate plays it over to Henry, who's waiting at the line. Henry approaching the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Cuts back, tackled away, and White with the dispossession. White has the ball through, and it is Jose who clears that ball out of bounds about 22 yards out. White hustling down to get there, wanting to throw that ball in quickly. Ball thrown in to Henry. Tate is able to get that ball. It is deflected. Bryson is able to pick it up. Ball now at Juan's feet. Juan, right-footed kick, trying to get over to Cooper. White is going to get there first, and the Bingham keeper had a moment thinking he had to hustle out of the box. He plays over to the right-hand side of the top right of the box. White plays a through ball. It gets through Brock and cleared out by Bryson. It's deflected off of the thigh of a Griffin player. It will be Bingham throw-in at the top of the middle third. Jose chests that ball and clears it out. It'll be another White throw-in. That one goes out of the stadium. White throws the ball into Henry. Ryder challenging. Henry trying to get in on it. White gets there first and cleared out by Jose to Henry, to Ryder, to Henry. Henry challenge, keeps the ball, places it back over to Parker. Parker back in the center to Tyler. Tyler one touch over to Jose, and it's a little bit too much. It'll be White throw-in. White throwing the ball into the center, brought down by Tyler. Tyler to Parker. Parker swings it over dangerously over to 31. 31 gets it to Brock. Brock is able to bring that ball up almost to midfield. Brock plays it to the right-hand side to Tyler. Tyler dispossessed, able to recover, gets that ball back over to Parker. Parker in the middle to Ryder. Ryder making a circle, getting up to the top, beating his man. Ryder moving up in the attacking third, shoots on the ground, it'll be picked up by Bingham's keeper. Bingham rolls the ball out to the right-hand side. And that ball is chased down. Raff on defense, forcing White to play back. Henry trying to get in on it, and it goes over the heads, and 31 is able to bring that down. I believe that's Jose. Jose plays that ball back over to Brock. Brock resets back over to Bryson. Bryson at the top of his box, under a bit of pressure, gets that ball over to Tate. Tate dispossessed, but Blue is able to recover. Tyler challenging for the ball. Tyler shielding. Tyler is able to get that ball over to Parker. Parker back over to Tyler. SLA taking the opportunity to settle things down. Tyler moving it to the left-hand side over to Henry. Henry chests the ball down. Ball played to Tyler. Tyler to Tate. Tate takes a turn to the right-hand side. His pass is stuffed. And White now putting the ball up in the center, headed away by Blue. Ryder gets the ball. And White putting together a couple of different passes. Jose on defense. Ball swung over to the far right-hand side just before midfield for White. They play it up. Tyler now on defense. White now approaching the attacking third. Putting it up in the middle. Ball heavy, and it will roll over to Juan's feet at the top right side of the box. Juan.
Come on, Blue. Simple, simple.
Juan looking to bring the ball into the center. Feigns a pass, goes over to the right-hand side. Taking the whole team on by himself, it seems. Kicks it in the center over to Ryder. Ryder gets it over to Tyler on the left-hand side. SLA looking happy to slowly move the ball up. Over to Henry on the left-hand side in the attacking third, bringing the ball in the middle, trying to beat his man. It's dislodged, and White recovers the ball at the top of their defensive third. White bringing the ball on the right-hand side. Tyler challenging. Ball slotted into the middle to to White. White at the top of the box, moving over to the left-hand side. Shot deflected, and it earns Bingham a corner kick. And SLA making a couple of substitutes. 17, 7, and 25 coming in for Cooper, Henry, and Tate. Corner kick from the left-hand side, right-footed, crossed over to the far post, brought down by White, in the box, headed out by Blue. Henry chips the ball up and it goes wide right.
Come on, Blue.
It'll be goal kick for Blue. Brock to Bryson over to the other side. Ball played up, and that is 31. Cycles the ball back over to Brock. That's Jose. Brock now with the ball. Brock's touch. Gerald is able to recover. Gets it over to Tyson. Tyson hoping to rejuvenate the offense here. Plays it over the far right-hand side. Parker's able to get there. Heavy touch, though. Parker uses his guts, but White is going to emerge with the ball. White now at the top of the circle. Playing the ball on the left-hand side. White sliding in, looking to turn, shot deflected, and it's going to go left and roll out of bounds. It'll be a Griffin goal kick. No, the call was deflection off of Griffins. Ball played quickly at the corner. SLA was not ready. Ball crossed over in the middle, swung over and cleared out by Tyler. And Blue challenging for the ball. That's RJ. And it's off of the foot. RJ throwing the ball in quickly over to Tyson, who is running fast. It's 2v6. Tyson at the top of the box. Cuts back. Back over to RJ. RJ places in the center over to Tyler. Tyler regains possession, feigns a shot, gives it over to Tyson. Tyson chips the ball over the left-hand side, headed by RJ, and it's a goal! RJ with the goal, putting up SLA up 2-0. That was a beautiful assist there from Tyson, who was able to flick it up to RJ, who broke through the Bingham defense and headed the ball in. Did look like it was bobbled just momentarily by the keeper, but it was powerful enough to find the back of the net. Ball back in play, kickoff for Bingham. Bingham gets the ball over to Henry. He plays it over the left-hand side. Ball swung further left by Bingham. They place it, and it is Parker challenging. Tyson is able to recover the ball. Tyson hustling, maintains possession, gets it somehow over to Tyler. Tyler gets it out of that area, swings it over to the left-hand side. I believe that is Raf, I can't tell. Bringing the ball up into the attacking third, trying to get it up over to RJ. That was Juan with that pass, and White is able to get that ball out. They cleared the ball down the right-hand side. It'll be picked up by Raf. No, that was Jose. Jose sliding tackle, ball still in bounds. White now on the counterattack, taking on Brock. Shot just over the woodwork. And an injured player for SLA. Looks like the refs called that the keeper touched the ball, so Bingham is awarded with a corner kick, their second one of the half. And it looks like number 9, Alec, will be subbed on. And the player, Griffin player, is being attended to by the PTs, and he looks to be in pain. And the injured player is able to get up. That is number 31, Jose. He's hobbling off of the pitch. He's been playing almost the entire game. It will be a defensive loss for SLA.
Hands mark up, boys.
Corner kick for Bingham. Signal. Run up. Right-footed kick up into the center. Headed. And it goes wide left. And the ref calling for stoppage time. Brock plays it over to Bryson. Bryson back over to Brock. Brock just outside of the box, looking for options. Brock gets it over to Tyson. Tyson has space and room. Tyson across midfield, coming from behind, sliding from behind. Not sliding, but fouled from behind. It'll be a Griffin free kick here at the top of their middle third.
Come on, Blue!
Parker to Tyler. Tyler to Tyson. Over to Ryder. Ryder. Nice move back over to Tyson. Tyson bringing the ball in the center. Dislodged, but he's able to recover it himself. Gives it over to Alec. Alec over to Tyler. Tyler over to Henry. Henry beats his man at the top left box. Cuts to the outside. Winds up. Shoots. Wide right. And it looks like Bingham will take this opportunity to make some substitutes. Ball played into the left-hand side, switched over to the right. Swung over to the middle now for White. White trying to build from the back. RJ putting some speed on it. White playing it over to the far right-hand side. The top of their attacking third. They have a through ball inside the box, and Bryson will get there. Brock up the center to Tyler. Tyler to Gerald. Gerald to Brock. Brock bringing the ball up now to Tyson. Tyson to Parker. Parker to the far left-hand side over to Gerald, who's now playing center back. Gerald keeping the ball, making his man work, resets back over to Bryson. Bryson to Brock. Brock cuts up the middle, getting past the two strikers. Now at the top of the circle, lays it off to the left-hand side. A little bit too heavy, intended for Tyler. Ball dislodged by Jose, I believe that is. No, Raf, his pass is intercepted. White now attacking on the right-hand side. Raf challenging and toes that ball out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Bingham Miners. Run up to the kick, up in the center. White is able to connect, and Brock, I believe, gets there. It's bobbled, or sorry, kicked back in at the baseline and scooped up by Bryson.
Hey, go get option, Blue.
Bryson rolls the ball over to the left-hand side to Gerald. Gerald up to Alec. Alec back to Gerald. Gerald in trouble. Resets back over to Bryson. Bryson to Brock. Brock to Bryson. Bryson to Gerald. Gerald now outside of the box. Gerald plays it over to the left, over to Tyson. Tyson has some time. Kicks the ball in the middle over to RJ. RJ in midfield, still in the circle, now approaching the attacking third. RJ using his body, keeping the ball, lays it back to Parker. Parker in the middle to Ryder. Ryder to Tyson. Tyson to Parker. Parker to Tyson. SLA settling down. That was Tyson to Parker. Parker up to the middle to RJ. RJ lays it back to Tyler. Tyler to Parker. No, that was Ryder. Ryder to RJ. Parker, sorry. Ryder recovers. Ryder shielding that ball, and White is able to dislodge it. Their pass will be intercepted by Gerald. Gerald gets it up to Tyler. Tyler maintains possession, slots it up over to Tyson. Tyson plays the ball up through, and it will be reset by White. Tyler brings the ball down with his chest, gives it over to Ryder. Ryder cuts through in the middle, plays it back over to Tyler. Tyler challenged, and it'll be Brock who will be able to pick up that slack, and he resets it back over to Bryson. Bryson tried to get it over, and White emerges with the ball. It was intended for Raf. Ball now over the right-hand side, attacking for Bingham. Bingham looking to cross it. They get it into the box, headed up and flicked up, but it'll be too high. It'll be goal kick for the Griffins. And a couple of subs for SLA. It'll be Hassan coming in, Tate coming in, and number 20, Parker coming off, RJ coming off, and Ryder coming off. Harper coming on, yes. And the ref taking a moment to make sure the game clock is reset. There's 15 minutes left in, and it will be goal kick for the Griffins. It'll be Gerald to Bryson, Bryson to Brock. Brock kicks the ball high up to the right-hand side, intended for Tyler, goes over his head, and it'll be kicked back to Bingham's keeper. Harper hoping to get a foot on that, but Bingham bringing the ball up into the middle third. Ball played up to the right-hand side. They're trying to cross it. They're able to get there, and Hassan is able to get a toe on it. Tyson now with the ball, cuts into the center, gives it over to Tate. And not on the same page. That pass is intercepted, intended for Tyler. White emerges with the ball. It's Tate with the tackle. White recovers the ball, though. White with the ball in front of their own bench, getting the ball through the channel on the right-hand side. And that pass is intercepted by Gerald. Gerald in traffic, gives it over to Raff. Raff resets back over to Bryson. Bryson back over to Gerald. Gerald bringing the ball up at the top of their defensive third, gives it over to Raff instead. Raff resets back over to Bryson. Bryson maintaining possession. Inside the box, gives it up to Tyson. Tyson now bringing the ball up into the middle third. At midfield on the right-hand side, puts it up in the center. Over to Tate. Tate plays it over to the left-hand side. Over to Juan. Juan makes a move at the corner of the box, and it is kicked, and the call is corner kick for the Griffins.
Come on, Blue, finish it. We're in, Blue.
So it looks like Tyson will be taking the corner kick. Hassan, Gerald, and Brock staying back. Tyler at the top of the box. Raff on the right-hand side looking for a long cross. Tate inside the box. Right-footed kick, medium height. Deflected, and it's going to roll. It's kept in bounds by Bingham by the corner flag. Bingham trying to get the ball into the middle. They fling it over to the far right-hand side. Juan challenging. White gets it through. Gerald sliding from behind and foul. Gerald with the foul, so it'll be a free kick and a yellow card given to Gerald. And a substitute will come on for Gerald. It'll be Parker. And the ref making sure the clock is stopped. Again, resetting the clock. Bingham with a chance from far out, from the far right-hand side. Looking to cause some chaos in the box. All their players, except two, are up. Ref signal, run up. Ball is directed, punched out by Bryson. White is going to get there first. Tyson will be on first man on defense. Tyson hoping to cut the corner. Hassan, ball cleared over the center. And a diving save at the goal line by Bryson. Able to catch the deflection. He's able to get the ball over to, I believe this, Juan over to Harper on the left-hand side. Harper, the top left corner of the box. Ball towed away by White. Harper's able to recover. And Harper maintains possession of the ball. And it is kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in. And a yellow card is issued to Harper for delaying the game. So Harper will be coming off and RJ coming on.
Come on, RJ. All right, Harper. Okay.
So it'll be blue throw in. Ball thrown in to RJ. RJ needs it over to Juan. Juan in trouble. Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throw in.
Come on, blue.
Juan looking for options, throws it to Alec. Alec to Juan, and it rolls out of bounds. White wanted a handball, but the ref is saying no, and it is actually blue throw in.
Hey, make it fast, boys. Don't get another.
Ball thrown in to Tyler. Tyler at the corner. Back over to Juan. Juan trying to get that ball out of the tight space. Gets it over to Raph. Raph over to Tate. Ball dislodged. And White now on the attack. Hassan. That ball is kicked out of bounds, and the call is goal kick for the Griffins. Bingham taking an opportunity to make a few substitutes. It'll be goal kick here for the Griffins. Ball kick from Parker to Bryson. Bryson in front of his own goal, switches the other side, back over to Parker. Parker brings the ball up, cuts back. Plays it over to the right-hand side, over to Brock. Brock, his pass deflected and goes out of bounds. The call is White throw in. Ball thrown in down the line, and Tyler is able to get there in the box, gives it to Parker. Parker launches that ball up high, trying to get it out of bounds. RJ jumping through. No foul called. White recovers at midfield. And that ball getting through, sliding in by Brock. Tyler gets that ball, resets it back over to Bryson. Bryson in the shadows, getting it over to Hassan on the right-hand side. Hassan back over to Brock, over to Tyson. Tyson challenged, maintains possession in the center, cuts back still with the ball, and a foul called against White. Tyler puts it into Brock. Brock over to Tyson. Tyson, stutter step, holds the ball, plays it over to the right-hand side, over to Hassan. Hassan cuts back into the center, plays it up over to 8 to 25. 25 cuts back, shielding the ball, trying to find some room, and is pushed from behind. This will be a free kick about 8 yards from the baseline. It will be not the best of angles. And so it looks like it'll be Tate who will be taking the free kick. An interesting angle. A one-man wall. Ref gives the whistle. Tate chips that ball up high at the baseline and is snatched up in the air by Bingham. Bingham quickly boots the ball to the far right-hand side, headed down by Parker. Recovered by Tyler. Tyler resets back over to Tyson, who hustled back. Tyson slots it down the middle to RJ. RJ in trouble, able to maintain possession, gives it over the right-hand side to Hassan, and it's out of bounds. It'll be White throwing. White throws it down the left. Tyson is there to stop it. Heads the ball, gets it to RJ. RJ bringing the ball up into the attacking third, cuts more into the center now at the far right, bodied out and dispossessed. Hassan with the tackle gives it to RJ and dispossessed again. Tate is able to stop the pass and plays it back to Parker. Parker to Tyler, tackled. White with the ball. And that ball is going over to the far right-hand side and rolls out of bounds. It will be blue throw-in at the top of their defensive third. And it looks like a sub for SLA. It is number 11, Samuel, coming in, and number 8, Juan, coming off.
Go, Sam.
So Raff will be throwing the ball in from the top of his defensive third. Runs up, throws it down the line, brings it down, and White is credited with the tackle, and a foul called against Tyler. This one is about 45 yards out on the right-hand side. This will be an opportunity for the Bingham Miners to chip the ball into the box. Ball kicked on the ground, probably not the kick he wanted, and no foul called, much to the dismay of the Bingham Miners. Ball played over to the left-hand side, and it'll be blue throw-in. Raff throwing the ball. That was Sam who avoided the penalty call. Back over to Parker. Parker to Bryson. Bryson deep in his own territory. Back over to Parker. Parker cuts back on the inside. Gets it up over to Tate. Tate over to Tyler. Tyler in between two players. Looking for more options. Chips it back to the right-hand side over to Brock. Brock over to Bryson. Bryson back over to Brock. Brock now moving the ball up to the top of their defensive third. Slots it up over to Tyler, a little bit heavy, or Tyson, a little bit heavy there, and White is going to recover. Tyler is credited with a tackle there, and a foul called against White. Tate was able to get a back heel toe on it to stop progression, and it will be a free kick for the Griffins. Ball played from Brock to Tate. Tate over to Parker. Parker back over to Brock. Brock up the middle looking for RJ. RJ connects but is dispossessed. Tyler dislodges the ball, and it will be a Bingham corner kick.
Come on, Blue. Play smart.
And it'll be a sub for the Griffins. RJ coming off and Cooper coming on.
Come on, Blue.
Bingham placing the ball down at the corner. Trying to find the net. Signal given. Run up. Right-footed. It's going to be short. Headed down. And it'll be Sam who gets there first. Sam cuts back. Dispossessed. White with the ball. Trying to chip it in. It'll be another Bingham corner kick.
Come on, Blue. Simple. Get ball out.
Bingham looking to play faster this time. SLA trying to preserve the clean sheet. The kick is up high, much farther this time, and grabbed in the air by Branson. And the ref calling a time stoppage of the clock.
Could be yellow. Guard him.
Bingham having a discussion with the ref. And as of right now, no card given. Bryson to Parker. Parker, right-footed kick, puts it up in the center. Try to get to Tyson. Tyson wins the tackle. Tyson fouled from behind. And a yellow card given to Bingham. And it looks like Bingham's player will be sent off, as is per the rules. And a sub immediately coming back on. And Brock will be taking the kick. Brock plays it on the ground to the far left-hand side to Parker. Parker over to Raff. Raff is tackled away. White with the throw-in at midfield. Back heel toe up. Tyler gets a head on it. Tate heads the ball back, trying to get it over to Alec. White is going to get possession of the ball. And White at midfield on the right-hand side. And that ball is cleared out by Tyler. You could tell he was frustrated with how things are going. Ball thrown down in the line. Kicked up over Tyler's head, brought down by Parker. And that ball is kicked up and scooped up by Bryson, who is going to roll, no, who drop kicks the ball and headed up by White. Tate is able to chest that ball down, kick it over to the far right-hand side, hoping to get Cooper. It's going to be a little bit too much, though. But it does play the ball in there, attacking third. Now White building up from the back. White slotting the ball over to the right-hand side by the 18-yard line. White now approaching the middle third. Ball is intercepted by Parker. Parker taking him on by himself, and that ball is intended for Sam. White rolls the ball out quickly. Ball played in the middle. Kicked over to the right-hand side for White. And White plays the ball into the middle. It'll be Tate challenging for the ball. White maintains possession. And a through ball. And it is going to roll to the feet of Bryson. And Bryson picks it up. Bryson rolls the ball out to his right-hand side over to Hassan. Hassan cuts back into the middle, plays it in the center, a 1-2 there. Tate is able to recover with Tate moving the ball in the center, looking for more options, plays it over to the left-hand side. That's Sam, I believe. Ball played in the center over to Cooper. Cooper 1-2 to Tate. Tate moving over to the right-hand side, chips it over to the right, trying to get to Hassan. And that is the game. SLA wins. Final score 2-0.